WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have the Four Roses, limited edition, small batch 2022 release barrel strength. Now this is I'm going to call it the European version. It's 700 milliliters. So we have 4,890 bottles. I have the bottle number 4127. This is Whiskybase number 221507. And we have here the youngest whiskey in here is 14 years old, but I'll be talking about that in a second. Over in Germany and in the Netherlands, I can get this here for 200 euros. In America, the going price is 180 dollars, and so the price is not bad. It used to be 150, but then yeah. So I think 2021 was the year that they increased the price from 150 up to $180. So 1 second here, very good. So for those of you, I don't even have the 750 in my database here. I do know that your 750 ml version has about 14,000 bottles. All right, so what do we have in here? So for everyone that knows a little bit about Four Roses, we know we have the two mash bills and the 5 different yeasts. So you have a total of 10 different products that Four Roses can make. The O is always the same. Then you have a second digit. It's either going to be the low rye or the high rye, E or B. And then you have the S that always is the same. And then you have the 5 different types of yeast. So we have OESF, 14 years of age, 75% corn, 20% rye, and 5% barley. Should give a little bit of the herbal notes. We have OESV, 14 years of age, same mash bill, the 20% rye. We should have delicate fruit moments. We have the OESK, which is 15 years of age, and it should give a light spice. And then Brent Elliott took a 20-year-old high rye mash bill, that is OB. So we have 60% corn, we have 35% rye, and we have 5% malted barley, delicate fruit. And we have the V yeast. So we have a F yeast, 2 times the V, and 1 times the K. Now, what I would love, and I think most of the people out there in the world would love to know, what is the percentage of the whiskeys? Are we talking about 95% 14-year-old and maybe 4% of the 15-year-old and 1 tiny little percent of the 20-year-old? Or are we talking about 25, 25, 25, 25%? What are we talking here? I assume that there's going to be between 3 and 5% of the 20-year-old in here, not more. All right, what am I going to compare it to? Everyone that knows my channel knows I always compare something. All right, so I have here the Four Roses limited edition 2022 release. We have here 55.7%. Here we have 54.5%. Here we had 4,560 bottles. Here, as I mentioned before, we have 4,890 bottles. So they're slowly increasing the size of the batches, also for Europe, which I much appreciate. So this was also a 200 euro bottle. Now I actually had bought 2 of these. So I had one that I shared and one that I found down here in my shelf. I was like, wait a second, I only had a little bit out of that. All right, so I'm going to take in my whiskey fairs. So what we do over here, we have whiskey fairs. This year I'll be at, I think, 14 different whiskey fairs all over Germany, promoting a lot of the N10 products. And I also have a range of other things that I also bring with me. For example, here. What we do is we take the bottle price, basically 200 euros, divided by 20. We pour 2 CLs, and then we get a bottle price of 10 euros. Now, if it's a very expensive fair, let's say if I had Inter Whiskey in Frankfurt, if I had had a booth there last year, it would have been almost 3,000 euros for me. That I need to sell a lot of drams and a lot of bottles to get 3,000 euros back into my pocket and pay for everything else, and including my time and so on, so I didn't go. It was just way too expensive for me. Then we'd add a couple euros per dram to that, because just to cover our costs of a booth. I pay more for a booth at a whiskey fair for a Friday, Saturday, maybe a Sunday, or just a Saturday, Sunday, than I would actually to have a storefront for a month. All right, good. You're not here to hear about me complain about the prices of having a booth at a whiskey fair. You're here to have a nice little review of the Four Roses. Now, to be very, very honest, this was my control whiskey at the beginning. This is what I calibrated with. This is the C921. This is 60.5. This is Elijah Craig. This is barrel proof. This is 80 euros. I can get 2 of these and a standard Elijah Craig for 1 of these. And that's always my question. Is this maybe an alternative for you instead? Instead of not being able to find a Four Roses small batch limited edition 2022, you can go out and buy yourself a Elijah Craig barrel proof. Doesn't matter which batch. Could it almost be a alternative? I'm going to say yes, but this is better. On the nose. Oh, this is so good. I can't even explain to you. We have a fruity, wonderful moment. It's maybe a little bit of a strawberry, a little bit of a raspberry. We have brown sugars. We have a little bit. I have pecan pie. There's oak. This is just perfectly blended. Brent Elliott did a great job with this one. Taking those 4 different types of whiskey and put them into that and made it into a wonderful thing. I Four Roses does have a unique position in the world of whiskeys, especially in the world of bourbons, that they can do that. We have 10 recipes you can add, you can subtract, you can make. The Four Roses Select, which we still can't get over here in Germany. They have it in the UK and most states in America have it as well. Beautiful, beautiful addition. Even the Four Roses Yellow Label beats, in my opinion, Jack Daniel's number 7, as well as the Jim Beam White Label. Now, over here, I can get Buffalo Trace 45% travel retail 1 liter bottle for maybe about 26 euros. I think that's better than the Four Roses Yellow Label, but to go back up to the single barrel, to go back up to the small batch with 45 and 50% respectively, those are just bad. Awesome whiskeys for a price under 40 euros over here. I mean, you can't ask for much more than what Four Roses is doing. Thank you very much for the wonderful products. Thank you very much for actually sending us over to Europe a special edition with 700 milliliters that we can share and enjoy this wonderful, wonderful whiskey if we're willing to pay the price. And to be very honest, compared to America, 180 and I'm paying 200 over here, that's okay. If I was have to pay 300, it's like, okay, the middleman who's holding out his hand and getting all my money. But that's actually an okay price for what you're offered. Over here, the 2020, it's sweeter. There's more of an oaky moment going on here. There's not much berries going on in here. This is for everyone who could be interested in it. Whiskybase number 168404. And this, there was 4,560 bottles. It's still available, actually, on the Whiskey Exchange. For example, they want 350 for it. That's kind of crappy. All right, good. Sorry. It should be about 200 something, but that's not my problem. So, and this is still available. Whiskybase number 221507. At least in Germany, we have one shop is offering it for 199.90. We have the people over in the Netherlands offering it for 247, and most of the people have gone up to about 250 and so on. But hey, that's the market we're living in at the moment. All right, let me try this. Cheers. Mm. 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 There's a nice fruitiness. There's a beautiful sweetness of the oak. There's a little bit of a, I'm going to call it allspice, Christmas spice going on here. The cloves, the cinnamon, the allspice. Um, mm, mm. And really, what's wonderful is this has the very beginning of the palate, the mid palate, the end of the palate, and the finish are all just. I'm sorry, it goes up. Are just almost there's transitions, but it's at such a high level. It's almost like a piece of music. It starts off strong and ends strong. There's no weakness whatsoever. I can't find a single weakness in this bottle. The 54.5%, perfectly balanced, not too much heat, not too much. I added water to this. My German video, it almost broke it a little bit. It got into a artificial caramel moment. Don't add water. Just drink it as God created it, as Brent Elliott made it. And this is beautiful, beautiful. just lingers on your palate. This is so great. Can I taste the 20-year-old whiskey? No. Can I taste the 14 and 15-year-old whiskey? I think so. I really, really like this. This is an A whiskey for me. I almost give it an A minus, but no, it's an A. All right, it's one of the best whiskeys that I've had in a while, to be absolutely perfectly honest here. Yeah. The 2022? The 2022 is fabulous. What is with the 2020? Here, the youngest whiskey is 12 years of age. Has a little bit of a pine needle sap moment going on, the pine sap moment. This is not my favorite. I think I remember doing the 2019, loved it. I loved the 2021, and the 2020 was just a little bit of a disappointment. Even the Booker's, the 2020 was a little bit of a disappointment. The 2019, the 2021, excellent. 2022, one of my favorite whiskeys of all time. And the 2020 batch of the Booker's, as well as the Four Roses, just doesn't do it for me. Like this is magnifico. So I just like this. This is the value for money is a C. Why? I can't recommend and say go. A is why haven't you bought it? B, buy it. C, buy it if you want to. Buy it if you want to. Buy it if you can. Try it if you can. Go out, search for it. Try to find someone who has a bottle open. Go to a bar, try it, and enjoy it, and think of all the goodness that's going on in this bottle. Not everyone has $200 to spend on a bottle of whiskey, which I totally understand. And therefore, I can't recommend it as go out and go spend your hard-earned money on it. But, wow, is it good. Now, the question of the day that I raised at the very beginning, I'd like to answer. Can a Elijah Craig barrel proof actually be a worthy alternative? Now, this is 60.5%. This is 56. This is 54.5. So 55.7, sorry. 55.7 and 54.5. On the nose, this is still better. On the palate, let's cleanse the palate first. Cheers. It's different. There's a little bit more of the oak. This is so much better. This is balanced. It has a little bit more heat. 60.5, come on. It's not hot, but it has a little bit more heat. This is a little bit more of that wood, and the oak comes through more than here. This is so fruity, balanced. It's not sweet, but it's not sour. It's just wonderfully balanced. This is almost like a Japanese whiskey that's been made to perfection in Kentucky. To rank these, 1, 2, 3. Is this a worthy alternative? Yes. Would I prefer, if money was no objective here, would I prefer to drink this? Yes. So now, if I'm gonna go find yourself a Booker's 2022-02, find yourself a Elijah Craig. You have different batches in America, of course, as well. More than we do over here in Germany. Our dumb 700 milliliter bottles allows us to have one batch of Booker's, one batch of Elijah Craig. We do often get very late, a couple months later than you, the limited edition here in very limited quantities. But if you look and you're willing to pay the price, you can find these as well. But this is fabulous. All right. This is very, very good. And this was a little bit of a disappointment, but I think I mentioned that in my video as well in 2022. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, telling others, and Whiskey Jason over here says, see you soon. Bye-bye.